Welcome to Street Power. Street Power is my podcast based on my philosophy that the streets are the most powerful element of society. And on Street Power, me and my illustrious guests, we will delve into the street world of Baltimore City from the top to the bottom. Nothing will be off limits. Hustling, beefing, jail, prison, love, loyalty, the code, everything. Things that you didn't hear or see on the wire. You might not agree with me now, but after you hear what I have to say and my guests have to say, I think you will agree with us. Good evening, everybody. We're back again with the third podcast, Street Power. Today, I have some real serious brothers. I got my man to my left, Dwayne Truesdale, better known as D. We got Bobby B-Hop back, who was on the first podcast, right? So we're gonna be bouncing around. We're gonna talk about a lot of things, right? But mainly, we're gonna kick it off, with the question is, who the coldest, men or women? Who the coldest, What do you think about that, Bobby? You think
who the coldest?
You think men are colder than women or women colder than men?
I think it's an equal balance, but it's all in the perspective of where you at personally. You got weak men, you got men that's on the level, then you got strong men. And the man is always the dominating factor, no matter what a woman may say, because it's the order in which it's supposed to be. So they feed off of how we treat them or how we react to what they do.
Okay, but I think, in my opinion, the women are a little colder than men, I ain't talking about dominant, but I'm talking about cold, as far as cold-hearted, But I'm gonna ask my man Dwayne, he's the expert.
Well,
Anybody know, he know.
I think women are much more colder than men.
Yeah.
Well, especially if we're talking about this modern generation of women. Of course, your older groups, they more subtle, but this group of women today, I want to say from maybe 45 or 40 on down, man, they, it's cold. It's like competition, Everything is about competing with us. And, you can't tell, half of them, you can't tell them nothing. They're going to do what they do, especially if they make more money than you.
Yeah.
Actually, I think, I look at social media, reels, and I think that social media has influenced the separation of men and women in the black community. I'm not even gonna go outside of the black community right now, but in the black community, it's like our men and women are constantly fighting against one another.
Can't talk.
Who got the power? Yeah. We on equal ground. I just think that women are a lot colder, man. They are.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too, man. I've seen it on a lot of levels, man. I'll be driving down the street, stop for a red light. I'm the first car. Light turn green. As soon as it turned green, I hear the horn bump. I look back, it's a woman every time. They act like they're on the street. I'm in their way, If I'm driving the speed limit, they bumping the horn, like they the only one got some important shit to do. You don't pay for my traffic ticket if they pull me over for speeding and all that. No, but I know too, going in and out of prison and stuff like. I know I didn't really experience it myself because I had a on and off relationship, but for the most part, she wrote it out with me. We fell out for 6 years one time. She come back. But I know when a man go to jail, all bets is off, you know. I know a lot of dudes have been left for dead in them places, but woman leave for dead, you know. Especially if you piss her off.
Well, they leave for dead in the street.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, you know, and in speaking, we speaking on a, well, some might disagree if I say like today's, it's, you know, the majority. I mean, the average woman, you know, she can get bored in a relationship. You know, you could be doing, you could think that your relationship is doing fine, and you know, you can fall short in certain areas, and you know, they won't relay it to you. They won't talk about it. They won't say anything. They just wake up one day and say, "Hey, I'm tired of this. I want to do something else." And you know, you think you got it all mapped out, and you think everything is solid, and it's not. You know, my experience is going to prison. Once you go behind the door, don't expect nobody to stay. It's a plus if they stay.
Yeah.
You know, don't get yourself caught up in still got a woman. Once you gone, she's not your girl. She's somebody else's girl.
Right.
You know, that's been my experience with it. I'm saying.
I agree with that, Dwayne. I look at it like this. Women are like cats. And we like dogs. If you look at a cat, when they go to shit in a pot or a box with the sand, they cover it up and you never know what's there.
Yeah.
We'll shit and sniff it and walk away.
Yeah.
You know, if you really want to. And then, Rudy, you got to point to, and I'm going to say this, before you go to jail, through my experiences, because I had women in my days, and just my personal experiences, before you go to jail, they got somebody lined up, or a couple dudes lined up.
Well, they keep options.
Yeah.
They keep options.
Because
they got an option. Most of the time, you're not the one that they wish they could have. Right. You know, they like a certain kind of dude, and they got this dude on it. You know, you're a good catch, right? You're an option. You're a placeholder.
Yeah, a marker.
But the one who they really like to have, they treat him like, a lot of times they treat him like shit. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like the bad boy thing. And then, you know, I had an older lady tell me, women are like monkeys, swinging through the jungle from vine to vine. If you notice, a monkey swinging through the jungle will hold on to one vine, will not let that vine go until they get a good grip on the next vine, and they continue to swing. Mm-hmm. It's the same way. They can be with a dude and be totally unhappy, but they're gonna stay there until they find something better, what they think is better and stronger, you know, and then they'll just wake up one day and just
But I think that applies to us too, though, so that kind of apply to us.
I don't.
I think they're a little colder, though.
I don't particularly agree, because men seem to be more committed. If we do get in a relationship, we seem to be more committed. We talking about men as a man. You know what I mean? Take care of your family, you know, caring for your girl, and you know, we tend to put up with more, stay longer, we say yes to shit that we know we should say no to. You know what I mean? We agree to things that
So we
know it's not. Just to get right. We don't want to beef. No, it ain't a matter of being soft. It's a matter of tolerating. You know what I mean? We agree to, sir, yeah, baby, you right.
Peace.
Just to have a peace, just to have some peace. You know what I mean? And they will continue.
So they like the drama.
Come on, man.
I think, especially nowadays, you know, the women love the drama. I think especially the younger ones. I ain't talking about the older ones, but the younger ones, all of them got a fantasy of being a love and hip hop superstar or something.
Well, they'll just take you.
Basketball wives or Potomac or Atlanta or something.
But that just takes me back to what I just said about the influence of social media.
Yeah.
You know, social media, reality TV, you know, it has taken a toll to the point where it has influenced relationship between men and women, and especially black men and women. You know, it's like a conspiracy that we really not paying attention to, or most not paying attention to. They don't see it. You know, they keep feeding reels and all these reality shows, and you look at the different. Right, and they keep assuming that, you know, what they see on TV. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be like that, you know. And you know, these ideas of I'm gonna get me an LLC, or I'm an entrepreneur, I own my own business, and all you do is hair.
Boss bitch.
Yeah, I'm a boss bitch, and you a hairdresser.
Yeah.
But it's the influences, and it's causing relationships between black men and women. All we do is it seems like we in competition with each other now.
So you think we can talk, communicate without screaming and cussing and trying to, because it seems that's the way.
Well, we can on some levels, but then again, it all depends on who you communicating with,
Yeah.
right?
I agree with that.
Depend on.
We gotta remember too, though, man. I mean, I understand what y'all saying, but we come from a woman, so they know us better than we think they do, and they choose us. Really, we don't choose them. So they got options, just like we got options. They got options. So, like you said, they swing from a tree. They're gonna do that. We come from them.
Especially with jail, I don't think you know.
You think
That woman should wait. You know, she wait long as she want to. You know, she want to wait 5 years. She can do that. She want to wait 5 days. You know.
I heard a guy say that our women can find 100 ways to catch you cheating, but don't know 3 ways to keep you happy. You understand what I'm saying? You just said they know us better, pretty much better than we know ourselves because we come from a woman. I don't know. I mean, I don't particularly agree with that. I mean, the fact that I watch other brothers is, you know, and what I've been through, women dealing off of emotions, man. You know what I mean? They function off emotions. Once they, you know, if they think they see something or they know something, they get stuck. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. But you yourself know that she way off base. Now you know when she on point, but you also know when she off base. And when she off base, you're not going to win the argument.
Right.
You're never going to win the beef.
I never won an argument with a woman.
Right. Okay. So understand what I'm saying. The majority of them, you're not going to win the argument. You're not going to. You know what I mean. So the best thing, what do? We just lay down and say, all right, babe. You know what I mean? Because you can't explain it to them, and then when you try to explain it to them, it's the conversation gets heated more and more and more. And
Right.
Nobody ever gets there. There's no calmness. There's no you speak first and I speak. It's like I know what I know. I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
At that point, it's a dead situation because what happens is, if they think you are a cheater, you ain't worth this, or, you know, they put you down. As much as you go back and forth in the relationship, the relationship is done. It's done. Unless they get to the point of actually admitting.
Man, Rick just pulled up, man. Hold on for a minute. What up, Rick?
Hey,
What's going on, man?
What's up, Ricky?
What up, man?
What's that, man?
Man, D right there.
How you doing?
What's up, boy?
On well.
All right.
We got you a seat and we got you a mic, man. We got a hot topic today, man.
Time is always hot. Even when you're not.
This was scorching right here, man.
Scorching, okay.
Yeah, you might get in a little trouble, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna serve my life, you know. It's cool.
Yeah, so Rick, we talking about who is the coldest between a male or a female. We think it's more cold-blooded.
Female, bar none.
Female?
I think so.
Yeah. Why you think it's female? You in good company
Yeah, I
pretty
know,
much, but
because-
you know, on your opinion, but why you think it's female?
Because she got what control a lot of men.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you see some of the strongest men fall to the victim of a woman. I believe Myron Bird, right? Jimmy Swagger, Clinton.
Kingdoms, man,
Muhammad Ali,
have fell.
your first wife, remember that?
Yeah.
Veronica. Probably just about everybody you can name, you know.
Let's go on and on. It's just
one
the name
time.
of
You
it.
know. But what makes a woman more cold than a man? You think it's because when she make up her mind, that that's it? No. But like, you know, you can have a relationship, a marriage. You can be married to a woman, and when it don't work out no more, you can walk away. She ain't gonna walk away. She wants your head on a platter. She wants your money in her pocketbook. She want half or more.
True.
She want the baby. She want everything.
What Kelly said, when a woman scorn,
Yeah,
there you go right there.
yeah, yeah.
I don't even think it's always, I don't think it's all based on being scorned. I think it's wanting the power in a lot of cases, you
They
know?
want the power.
Yeah. I mean, if we go on, okay, again, we talking about modern day relationships, we talking about modern day women, you know, the way things right now.
From the 90s
Okay.
to the 80s.
Okay, it's the power, the competition. I said it before. It's like now so many women, our women are in, it's like the competitiveness. I make more money than you. I do better than you. I can do this, I can do that. Okay. And even when you look at marriage, what is it for? So the day you look at it, it's about security for women, I think. Okay? It's like all the way down the line, I know that as I get older, I'm not as marketable as I used to be. I'm you know what I mean? I can't run them like I used to. So I'm gonna get somebody that either when he die, I'm gonna be secure. If he do something stupid, I'm gonna divorce him and I'm gonna be secure. Right? It's the way they play the game for what? Control, power,
Security.
right.
Okay.
You know, and
Anything about what? No, you want to speak on that first? Yeah.
I agree with him.
To be colder, to be colder, that kind of imply that it might be stronger than us. You think that mean that? Or,
Not on physical.
no, not physical. No, I ain't talking about physical. I'm talking about this right there. Yeah.
Yeah, U.S. space. Like women, like back in the movies in this free women really, they weren't in the position they in now. As far as like you said, they got their own everything now, right? And that's why you hear them say, I don't need no man, this, that, and the third, because most men out here, you got some still.
They tell the truth when they say that, or they lying.
They lying because you know why they need us? Because it's like God created Adam and Eve, right?
Right.
It's like we complement one another,
Right.
right? So therefore they do need us. So yeah, they lying when they say that these
Yeah,
better.
because they got needs and all that. They need love. They need sex. They need somebody to hold them. And they need us for a lot of reasons. They might be in denial because they're angry. When you want something you can't have, you get mad.
So they like that now, really, because like I say, they got their own everything. And really, we put them in that position by going to prison for the years we went, everything. So now, most men out here today, if you compare with us, they weak.
You don't think society had a hand in put them in position too?
Absolutely.
of course.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
the power structure did that. That's why they chose them.
Yeah, that's
Everything
been a
was in their
strategy
favor.
from day one.
Because they can control them.
Yeah.
That's why they was chosen.
Right.
Divorce, they get everything.
Yeah.
They've been chosen. The jobs, they put them in a position to make us feel less. Everything's been chosen in their favor. Why did they choose them before they chose us?
He can put fear in them.
They
They
tell
put
you
fear in
though.
them, and when they get afraid, their emotions, derail their thinking process. You put that much fear in it. I seen it do with men like that. You terrorize somebody, then your emotions bypass your intelligence,
Exactly.
and you're gonna do anything. I seen, like, when I was going to court, there's a lot of guys from the streets. They had years in the streets, all right? And the government went to them. They couldn't convince them, to cooperate. So they went to their women. They knew they loved their women. They was like, you better tell him, get him to cooperate. He's going away. If he loved you, he would tell. If he loved you more than them guys, then he would tell and stay out here and be with you. So you better, and see, that conversation's kind of receptive, I don't know about nowadays, but back then it was. And female would do their work for them, You love me, you better tell, stay out here. If you don't, if you go to jail, I'm not gonna wait for you. I'm not gonna wait, I'm telling you now, I'm gone,
Right.
Remember that dude up the street, the market and all that, was always looking at me that you mentioned, Yeah. Got a phone though. So, yeah, they get them to do the work for them.
Right.
Because they know, like, they can, when they put fear in them, fear of losing you,
Right.
or any kind of loss, their emotions is going to bypass you. They get terrorized.
Right. I agree with that.
He would stay out here with you, take care of the kids and all. So that's one of the things that they do. So it ain't all like coming from them. Just that's been a strategy from slavery on up to the day. That they give them more. They give them more. They don't want to deal with us and all. They let them work on us, but they always had a fear of losing their children, losing their babies and all that, being sold off. Now's been going to jail. When I was coming up going to jail, nowadays it's being killed. They had that fear, So they operate. There's a lot of fear out there. So they wanna control, When I went in, that's the first real difference me and Lisa had, about my son, raising my son.
Do you think welfare played a role?
Oh
of the
yeah,
system?
definitely. Yeah, it definitely plays it. Not in my case, but it do play a part in general. Yeah, it do. Because if you get welfare from the government, then they tell you can't have a man in the house. We catch a man in the house, we're gonna take all your benefits and things like that, we're gonna put you out. You gotta go. So, yeah, they had a big hand in the schism between us, male and female. But it's hard because a lot of people was not aware of the influences.
Well, it's the same thing today, the influences. I mean, it's like social media. Everything from TikTok to Instagram, Facebook. It's influence in reality shows, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, are we just sticking to, let's say, men and women, black men and women?
All women.
Or are we talking about all women?
All women.
Yeah, we're talking about all women.
Okay. Well, see, my concern is black men and women.
True.
I mean, we go off and, it's funny because, you got guys that say women of other races treat them better.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Black women. So you got guys, they go to white women, they go to Asians, they leave the country.
Yeah.
They feel like they can get a woman that's more submissive. They don't want or need as much other than maybe some attention. But my struggle is with black men and women because it's to the point where the community is, black communities, man, the stronghold between family is I'm gonna say is dead.
Pretty much. And everybody's hurting. Well, I'm gonna raise a question here. All right, what's the main reason? It's a lot of reasons why a woman would leave a man. What's the main reason? One of the number one reasons why a woman would leave a man is she claimed to have been in love with
Finance.
No romance without finance.
Insecurity.
Insecurity.
Yeah.
On whose part?
She want to be secure.
Oh, so she's
Yeah, he
insecure.
next out. When she feel like it's a shortage.
So that go back to finance.
Right,
Finances.
right.
What do you think, D?
I say, I don't know, man. Well, actually, I could say boredom, because a woman to get bored with you in a minute. After so many
Got more
years,
reason? Believe me?
you know, you married, let's say you married for
something
20 years. We know it becomes routine. It's just like coming home at night and you know that you got to knock your girl off on Tuesdays and Fridays. And it becomes a routine, right? No excitement, nothing different. You come home, you do this, you do that. Even when you get into it, you do it the same way. Same, you know what I mean? The foreplay is this way, and then the actual act is this way, and afterwards, you grab the remote, she get a cigarette, she pick up the phone, you know what I mean? And this go on for 20 more years.
You run out of positions.
And it's like, I'm doing what I got to go home and knock my wife off. You know what I mean? Or she got to go home and knock her husband off.
Okay.
And they get bored with that. So then you find out that, damn, she had a dude she been dealing with 5 years now. Because what? He doing some exciting shit.
So you owe that dude. He kept doing what?
You know what I mean? But it's funny because they say sometimes the side piece is what keeps the relationship balanced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A guy go out, he got a side piece. Everything he want to do at home that he don't do or he feels as though he can't do, he go out and do. Because you got to stop and think. Look at it like this. How many guys do not want to think of their wives or their girlfriends as a super freak? Right? All the stuff you might like or you want, you just don't want to believe that your girl going to do all this, especially if she ain't never did it with you and you want it. And if she begin to do shit, you be like, wait a minute, you do this you kind of good at this now. Where'd that come from? So dudes don't even want to face the fact that his girl might be a freak. You understand? So he'll go out and do everything that he like to do or the extra shit. He got a piece cross town.
They call it flooded out.
Right. You know what I mean? Because he don't want to view his woman or his wife as his side piece. He know how the side piece get down. You understand what I'm saying?
I used to be like that. Yeah, he ain't lying.
You
I
know,
know some guys
that
like
back in
that
the day.
too. I know some guys too.
So
And
I
they say-
matured, I matured and then I got out of it.
right,
But, yeah.
right.
But I think on the part of a man and all, he don't want his buddies to find out. You know, they don't talk about that.
Well, that's on one hand,
That's
but it's
right.
the whole idea of knowing. When you land there, you look over at your woman and you thinking about, like, damn, I ain't know she do that. And then you find out some other shit, you be like, well, damn, is that my girl a freak like that? So now you begin to think, what else did she do? What else is she doing?
you
Or she
thinking
got a
that-
piece.
Or you thinking that somebody else might be able to get her because she's freaky like that.
Right. But you don't want to smut her out. Because for you, she is pretty much the purest thing you can think that you got is your girl.
I don't know.
That's the way I'm just saying. No.
You ain't said nothing in a minute, but I mean,
hold on.
where you think that come from, man? That thought process, with a man, he trying to pick. I know some guys do that. Try to pick a girl, what they call a quote unquote a good girl.
Right.
A church girl.
Right.
Nah, Rudy. For real, I done met a lot of women that used to say, like, reason why they got a dude on the side, because they can't be themselves with certain dudes, so they with him out of security because he got the bag, right?
Right.
So now they got a young dude
They don't
over
wanna take
here
no risk
that
with
don't
him.
have the bag, but she can be herself with
She
him.
can be herself. Right. That's the best way to put it.
What I mean is like on both parts, both sides, male, female. I mean, like dishonesty in their relationship, the conversation. They can't honestly talk about, put the cards on the table. It's too late now. They in a relationship, Might have a baby or two.
Yeah, because the guy want to know, like he said, when you get this from?
Right.
Yeah.
So they can't be themselves with
But
him.
it's on him. He's supposed to inquire that, even though she probably gonna lie to him. He's supposed to inquire.
Well, you already know that. Come on, man. Come on, let's be
I don't know
realistic.
about this generation here though. They kind of put the cards on the table.
Yeah, they do to a degree.
But
of
they
course,
know they're
that's
the
the
kind of
same
like
shit.
run a man away if he ain't that type of guy. That's risky. It's real risky, for a woman to come out, and
Yeah, but they find
take a
out
mask
later.
off.
But they always figure out later, damn, the grass wasn't greener on the other side.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So,
That's why they take their time before they roll out on your ass. They just don't roll out. They're pretty sure when they roll out on you. That's why a lot of times they don't turn back and we think they cold-blooded. Damn. She just rolled out on me like that?
That goes back to what I was saying. They choose us most of the time. Y'all may not agree with me, but just like they roll in, they roll out, like you're saying.
I believe they choose, I believe pretty much they choose.
Yeah, they choose you.
Yeah,
Of
they
course
size
they
you
choose
up.
you.
Yeah.
Before you even approach them, they
I
done
see 'em in
already
the
pick you
club,
out. And
you know.
Yeah, they got size you up. Man.
Yeah.
You gotta give them that. You gotta give them that.
Yeah, I see it all the time.
Yeah.
I see them in the club, choosing them. I can tell you when they choose, just by how they look at you. You know?
Ladies, sure, gentlemen's game.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then every experience is a different one, man. I know what you're saying in the whole, but you got some of them that are real good. Just,
oh, you do.
know? So
Mommy.
that's how I measure them.
Yeah.
When I meet a girl, I don't jump straight in the bed. I gotta talk to them, see where they head at. And then also you gotta look at this too. You know how when you're young, you got HD. Listen to this. Got HD and all that old stuff. When they grow up, all they do is dress the outside up, but on the inside they could be messed up. And you look at them and say, "Damn, they fucked up." But you don't look at the origin of what's going on with them.
Right.
You know.
I think
well, you
all
don't
of them
ask
good.
the questions like, I learned a long time ago. When you start what they call courting them, the thing is, what kind of, when you grew up, how was your family? You know what I mean? Like, how often do we ask a woman, has she ever been sexually assaulted
That's what I
or
was saying.
abused by
There you go.
family members?
There you go.
You understand what I'm saying?
There you go.
And eventually you may find out, but I found out that the numbers were staggering.
Yeah, they
I
are.
looked into it one
Yes, they are.
time, right?
Yes, they are.
And the numbers were staggering to me, like this many women been abused
That's
by
true.
family
That's
members,
true.
fathers, uncles,
So-
brothers, and all this stuff. And yet, psychologically, they unbalanced.
So,
And because we don't know it or we don't ask those questions,
in the beginning.
Exactly.
right, you don't know how their childhood was.
Exactly.
And you wonder why they act a certain way or they expecting a certain thing or they looking.
So when do you ask? On the first date, second date, third date, after you got to,
That's the point we
After
missed.
you
You gotta ask them in the beginning. Cause
I don't think you could ask the first date.
No,
Not
I
first,
wouldn't say
second
the
date.
first date.
No, I'm
I
saying
think
you
you should
observe
ask
them.
them
You
before
observe
you
them.
sleep
But
with
you
them.
got to have the conversation
Before
early
you
on.
sleep with
If
them,
you
you know.
talking about, excuse me, Rudy, you talking about having them close to your heart, man, you got to ask them questions early on. Or you're going to go through that other stuff we talking about. You know, just like you got a sculpture. Don't you chisel away pieces at a time?
Right.
And then you create the beauty that you want to see in it.
Right.
The same thing with a relationship or a friendship. You got to do that in the beginning. A lot of times we miss that point.
Yeah.
And we just go right into it, not knowing nothing.
So
and
see-
then when all the other stuff come up, then
But I'm asking,
we
when
judge
do
them.
you do it? On the first date, second date, after you done slept
would-
with her? What?
I wouldn't say the first day.
Yeah, that's
I
what
would
I'm saying.
say it's a process, just like steps.
But it's something that he just said about not sleeping with him right away, right?
Right.
I found that, you court her, I'm gonna use that word, you dating, right? And, from where we come from, it was always I'm gonna take my time, especially if you really like her, you know what I mean?
Right.
It could be 2, 3, 4 months before
Right,
you
right.
even act. But it's getting to the point now, if you take too long, they like, what the fuck? Excuse me, you know what I mean? Like,
You
It's-
saying as men or as them?
them, they wonder why you taking so long.
But then that's in your favor.
Well, it is. If you standing on your ground, who you are,
Right.
they eventually, but, if you take too long, man, they'll move on.
Can I say one more thing, y'all? To your point, I met this girl, she had like 4 businesses, right? Okay, that's cool. But I done had money all my life. So I tested her. I stayed over her house a couple nights. She coming up in the room naked, I'm watching TV. I said, I'm gonna see if she could, you know how they do us, I'm gonna see if she panicked. So the second time she came in there with some pretty little panties on, I ain't do nothing. So she tells a homegirl of mine, damn, Bobby, he tried to knock me off. What I was trying to show her was that I want to get to know you. Anybody can just jump up in a hole. So all that stuff she had, it made me think that that's her pattern when she meet dudes. Okay, she got all this, and the nigga gonna go for it, just to get them drawers. And then after that, then what?
Right.
You know, so
I mean, I
that's
agree
how I
with
tested
you.
them.
I agree with you.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying the same thing.
I cut them off.
I'm saying the same thing. You know, and then you be like, damn, I take too long? Mm-hmm. You know, then they stop communicating with
Right,
you, and
you-
you're like, all right, cool. You know what I mean?
That's just like the
And then
sculpture I'm talking. You chisel away and see
Right.
who they really are around.
Right. So who's missing the point? Are
They
we missing the point, or they missing the
They
point?
missing the point.
Okay.
Because we the sculptures.
Right.
We the sculptors.
I think nowadays the younger generation of females, you know, they are more physically aggressive than we, as far as the look and everything, the way they dress, dancing, even talking, you know, they are more. They rely more on physical, you know, as far as the courtship, and they try and seduce you right off the top. You know. They try and seduce you, skimpy dresses, the long hair, the makeup. And,
Yeah,
you
but
know.
that's one of the problems we have in now. And what I mean by that is the way it is, you know, a dude look at you and then he size them, you know, where's the principles here? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if somebody don't stop and say, look, slow down, honey. You know, you out there, you doing this, you doing that. You putting yourself out there. A dude gonna carry you like you carry yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
Majority. Dude's gonna carry you like you carry. If you carry yourself like a hoe, they gonna carry you like a hoe. You know what I mean? And you know, I want a man that, you know, he's doing this, he make this much money, he drive this, he live like this or whatever. That's all well and fine. But then you got 20 other chicks that want the same thing you want. You know what I mean? So this dude, you know, he can pick and choose. And most men on a serious level, I don't think that's what he want. He ain't gonna pick a hoe. You know what I mean? He might play with a hoe.
Right.
But that's just like I say, he ain't gonna pick a hoe.
Right.
So
It be his girl.
So you think women really care, the younger women care whether dudes see them as a whole nowadays,
I think a lot of them are just,
or they just independent where they don't need it?
no, I just don't think they know better right now. Honestly.
They're not mature enough.
Right. I think they've been influenced by what's out here.
Right.
And this is the hip slick thing to do. I mean, when we grew up, certain things we done, we got involved because we thought that was the hip slick cool thing to do when you was young.
Right.
And we ended up doing shit that cost us
Right.
in the end.
Right.
You know what I mean? We wanted to fit in. We thought this was cool. You know, and it cost us. Same way here. You know, I just look at it, I see these young girls, man, and I'm like, they be trying extra hard, man, to be,
Fit in.
yeah. You know what I mean?
I think that too, you know, this whole conversation about competition between male, female, and who the hardest. I think, you know, it's been like kind of a role reversal
Yes. Yes, it is.
between, you know, the black man and the black woman.
Yeah.
And I listened to them talk, and they was like, you know, you just look at them, you know, they out and out, you know. One time they was in the closet, you know, they out holding hands. They're on TV, you know, female, and then dudes with the dudes. And you talk to a lot of young girls, they was like, because these dudes is punks. They punks. They
You're right. You're right.
like they punks. I don't want no punk. I want a man and all that.
But
They
you
punks.
you just said something that kind of triggered me to, like I would like to do another one podcast with a few ladies here too, but this thing of girl on girl, you know, it's more than, you know, it used to be a thing like one time you found the girls, like girls, you know, they kind of kept that thing hush hush, just like you found them. If a dude was homosexual, you know, he wouldn't bring it out. But now it's like the hip thing to do. I like girls.
They're more acceptable.
You know what I mean?
That's because it's
And
more
I still-
acceptable now.
It's more acceptable.
Back then it was taboo.
Right. But being acceptable and what gets them to that point?
Society.
Society.
So,
I seen it a lot like, man, like real shit. Like,
so you're saying Hollywood, social media
Yeah.
set the norms. You know,
Yeah.
they show people become what they see.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I always say that people
but you
see
got
something.
a lot of young people, man. They doing this because they think that shit is cool.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
A lot of young women in junior high school, they involved in lesbian relationships because they think that shit is cool. That's the thing to do.
Defines rebelliousness. You know, like when we was young,
I don't know.
we was young, we stole and we owned school and all that because we was defiant. We was rebellious, you know.
Right.
We was our own authority. We was determined, you know, to do what we wanted to do until we get caught. We get caught, then they made us to, you know, go to school. A boys' village, you know, we ain't had no choice. But as soon as we come home, we back to the races again.
Dwayne, you're right, Rudy. It's also hidden pain, like I said in the first podcast. Because I talked to young girls when I was working in schools, and they transfer their pain. This is like, say a young girl get molested, like y'all was saying.
Right.
Okay, she holding all this stuff that she hadn't had professional help with. So to get it out of her, she transferred it to another person.
Right.
And the guys, like in prison, when they raping guys, they've been molested somewhere in their life or had them kind of experiences. So to make the dudes on the outside look at them as men, they transfer their pain and rape somebody. See, it's a psychological thing that they go through.
Yeah.
And you can't see it on the surface.
Right.
But then when you deal with them dudes, the rapers and all that, they punks. You
Yeah.
push up on them, they punks.
Yeah.
But they have to hide that.
Yeah.
I've seen this a lot of times in schools and in the prisons, man. You know, they transfer the pain.
And they feel, a lot of them have a fear of being, like in prison, they have a fear of being victimized
revealed.
themselves,
Cover come off of
being targeted themselves. So what they do is to discourage anybody to get any ideas before you get any
Exactly.
ideas. They go around doing it.
Exactly.
They go around
Before it's
doing
done to them.
it. Right, so nobody would suspect. They might, you know,
exactly.
be a latent, you know, closet or whatever. And so they go around doing it themselves.
You ever seen that movie Falling with Denzel?
Falling.
It's like an entity that was in the air. You seen it? And say I touch Ricky, then he become that. Then Ricky touch Rudy, he become that.
I seen that. Yeah,
That's all it
was a
is.
cat.
That's what it is.
It was a cat.
Yeah.
In the air.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever they touch.
Yeah, I seen that.
So they transfer their pain. That's what that movie is showing you. How pain is transferred. And the spirit, the evil spirit is transferred by touching something.
Right.
My observations since our short spell being home, my observation is women is mad as shit, the black woman. She angry, so angry. I mean, she raging. She beyond anger. She's raging.
What they angry about?
And they might be disappointment, you know. Disappointment, expectations, and, you know.
I'm not disagreeing with you,
know.
but I just want to know what they angry about. Maybe
Okay,
maybe we can fix it.
Yeah, they whole gang of things. Well, one day we're gonna get them on here and they gonna tell us. They can tell
What they
us
angry about.
themselves, right? But I think they're angry about a lot of things. You know, I think they feel abandoned.
Abandoned.
Yeah, they feel abandoned. They feel like the black man that gave up. You know, and I can't disagree with that. When I ride down the street, I ain't saying all everybody. You know, I'm talking in general. When I ride down the street, you know, I just can't pass or pull up to a red light without seeing, you know, the black man out on the corner. He gave up.
Right.
He got dropped off the radar. He ain't even trying to compete no more. He ain't even trying to win, you know.
Right.
He ain't even trying to be a man for the women itself. You know? So they might be pissed about that too.
So would it be fair to say we failed them in a sense?
Yeah, in general, yeah, we definitely we felt ourselves. But I think they're so angry nowadays that their emotions are fried. They got a hard trigger. They'll go off on you quick. any little thing. You know, they don't even get one word out that they don't like. You forget the rest of them.
It's frustration, Rudy, a lot. And see, a black man, he been beat down so much. We've been through so much. But a lot of us, the strong ones, we still holding on. For the weak ones, they look at that and then they judge us as a whole. They judge us as a whole. So,
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they do. They
Right.
can't distinguish.
Right.
They just know that you're male and they hate males and
Exactly,
stuff like
exactly.
that.
So, like you said earlier, you said they're emotional creatures. We physical creatures. So their emotions flying all over the place. You can't see it, but you know, like wires, they're all over the place. And they can't control that. So we get to run of it because we're the closest things to them.
Right.
You know, so then we judge them.
They gotta be angry at us.
Well,
because
tell me why they don't take accountability. Can somebody
they-
answer that question for me?
Because they're emotional creatures.
Okay.
And what
It's like them wires all over the place. You can't
that's
see
a
them.
big word. We gotta
And
throw
then-
it
and then-
down because they might
Okay,
take
I see.
accountability in some area.
Yeah. Mothers destroy sons.
True.
Mothers destroy sons.
I agree with you.
You know, again, let's go back to emotions and anger. I'm mad because the father didn't do what I wanted him to do, and now he's gone, and you want to make your son perhaps the man. You know, you create this man in your mind,
And your image.
and this image of him, and you want your son to be there. So now you starting to treat him like, and then you take shit out on him
And you make
that you
him hate
can't
the
take out
father.
on his father.
And you make him hate his father.
And the other guys that didn't stay because you got 2-3 kids, or
That's true.
it is. You know what I mean? So all of this,
And they pass on their anger to the son. The need for revenge. They do that.
yeah.
Yeah. Your father ain't
Yeah.
shit. He ain't no good. He left you. He ain't seen you this.
But
and
I
that.
think that if women take accountability, even though we'll say, oh, they'll never do that. But if it became a trend where women can accept responsibility and take accountability for a lot of things that they've done, I'm not saying we're any better, but it would give it a balance of we can talk more. You know what I mean? We can be like, what? She actually said she was sorry. You'd be like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Am I dreaming this? You know, if your girl told you that she made a mistake and she was sorry, man, you look at her like she got 2 heads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's not something you used to.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And we'll go along and she can pick you, play with you, she can lie to you, and you just look at her and you be like, you know, I really don't have no choice. All right, baby, I got you. You know, and just to leave the conversation or the situation alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you know that she's not going to admit to certain things.
So it's hard for anybody, being human, to admit that they're wrong.
No.
Sometimes,
No.
I'm saying it's hard. It is hard for people to admit that they're wrong. Bro.
Well, overall, it might
Let
be.
me finish, Keith. Thank you. It's hard for people to admit that they're wrong, but it's harder for female to admit. You know it's hard, D. You know it's
Yeah,
hard for dudes
yeah.
to admit that they're wrong.
You know why? You know why? Because it's easier to put on somebody else.
Right.
In court, where they
I
get
admit
two
myself.
people setting the responsibility
I
on
admit
it.
myself when I'm wrong, it's hard. That's something that I had to.
Well, are you just
practice.
saying overall, or are you talking about is it hard to admit to a woman that you wrong?
It's hard to admit any period, you know. I could practice it for years. I'm good. I'm better at it now. I'm pretty good at it because, you know, I don't want nobody on me, you know. I want to move on and all that. So I'll be like, yeah, I'm wrong. I'll think about it. You know, if I think about it and I see when I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But it takes some time to do that sometimes because you might be.
But I'm saying again, is that just overall, or or are we talking about dealing with a woman? Which one?
Okay,
Overall.
But I want to I'm just putting it in perspective. That's what I'm asking
Okay,
now
all right.
is it more harder for a woman than it is for a man to admit that they're wrong? It's hard for everybody, man, period. But I'm trying to put it in some context, right? Because if you said, yeah, it is, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
But it's hard for everybody.
Yeah, it is.
Because women are raised to believe in fairy tales. So they create worlds in their mind that you would not believe. They think it's true.
Right.
Right.
So they ignore the truth.
And they can't
make their
handle
own
and,
facts.
and honestly, they can't handle the truth. As much as they say, be honest. Be a man, tell the truth, be honest. When you give it to them, oh no,
That's true. I experienced that.
it ain't go. They never gonna leave it alone. It could be 10 years and it's gonna come back up.
That's true.
If they say, well, just be honest. All right, well, I did this and I did that. 10 years from now, in the middle of a fight or argument, that shit coming, man. Mm-hmm. You know, they not gonna let that shit go.
I know women in the past.
They not gonna let
I
it
know
go.
guys in the past, associates, they raised kids that wasn't theirs. And then as the years went by, dude come back in their life, the father, then they tell them. Look how long a woman in hell all them lies, you know? So if they can get to the point where they can just admit stuff and we can admit stuff, that's the key. But it's hard. It's
They're more
hard.
vindictive.
Huh?
They're more vindictive.
So would you say it's hard because of the fear of what we think the result will be?
Right.
Like dudes won't tell his girl that I know you did this, that, and other. And you just be like, you gonna stick to your guns. Because you know if you tell her that you went off to the left, like, that's it.
Respect.
She ain't gonna say, all right, baby, I'm gonna let that go. And we're gonna be, at that point is get out, leave, boom, we over with and all that shit. So dudes fear, like women wanna know, or did you cheat, or did you have sex with her? You know what I mean? Did you have sex with her? So you be
they
like,
really
no, I
wanna
ain't
know?
do that, huh?
Do they really want to know?
No, they really don't.
I believe that too.
But if you tell them, we don't tell them because we know what the end result gonna be. That shit ain't going away.
You know why it's hard? It's simple, man. Don't nobody want to be wrong.
The ego.
Facts.
The ego.
Yeah.
You know, and the only way we could get that straight is when you get into a relationship, both people have to drop their egos and start off like a childlike state and build it up. But it sounds practical, but up here, they not there. Everybody ain't gonna be on the even keel.
Right.
So one of them is gonna be an imbalance starting off in the beginning anyway.
So I got a question here. I'm gonna go around the table.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to admit when you're wrong.
Not now, not
Used to
today.
be.
When I was young, yeah, because I was out there. I was out there.
It used to be, not now.
Yeah, not now.
I'm the same way.
That came
too.
with growth.
I'm the same
Right.
way too because
Right.
you know, like I said, it's easier, to move on when you know you're wrong because the person's never gonna move on. They're gonna always want closure.
Right.
Like you said, 10 years from now, you laying on the bed, y'all just had a good dinner, eating, sex, or whatever, and she turned to you and say, I know you screwed so-and-so.
Or
We was-
when the last time you talked to such and such.
Yeah,
And that was 10 years ago. Like, why you bring that up?
yeah.
And I've actually been in situations like that. Like, can you let that, you said, just be honest, let's get past it, and it'll be over with. But every time I turn around, it keep coming up.
So how do you get out of this situation? They say they want the truth, but when you give them the truth,
They can't handle the
they
truth.
can't handle
It
it.
goes back to the cat and the sandbox I was telling you. I don't know if Ricky heard about that. When the cat go in the sandbox, the shit, a female, she covered up, don't she? And you look at the sandbox, you look at all sand. A man, he'll go shit somewhere, and sniff it and walk away and leave it revealed. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. This is something I learned too from, being in the prisons for a long time it's like, if I don't know something to be a fact, it might be a possibility, it might even cross my mind. I just let it go, like it didn't, this is. Because I had to find peace in there. I couldn't be dragging up old stuff, thinking about this, and I'm in there thinking about what's going on there because. So I'm just like, I don't own that person. I don't own nobody. They own themselves. So I don't really have no right to be mad or count, especially in there.
Right.
Because the person got life. I don't want to bring them in there with me.
Right.
calling 10 o'clock every night, where you at? You in the house? If you're in the house, then cut the TV on, so I know how the TV sound.
You loud there, so you want her to be loud there.
Yeah,
That's
so,
a valid point, Rudy.
so I don't feel like, I don't owe nobody. They ain't really got to count them. If I don't like what they're doing, I can walk away.
Right,
I'm not going to argue with you,
right.
because you do what you want to do. And I found that helped me out a lot, far as like, and it kept me, something bad, in a relationship. But I don't feel like, a total losses. I don't believe in a total loss.
Right.
I think you can salvage anything, It's like if your house is on fire, I'm gonna get a metaphor. If your house is on fire, right? Okay. And you walk up, your house is on fire.
Uh-huh.
So you can walk away and let it burn down, or you can try to see if you can salvage something, and run in there and get some things, valuable, That's like a relationship. To me, I would try to save something. We can be friends. Maybe go to movies or talk sometime later on, build it back up, instead of just like, totally walk away. You might be spitting it.
But it'll never be the same.
It should be better, I think, after a long time. For me, I think it should be better, right? Because now I know the real her, she know the real me now. So, and we can be honest, totally honest with each other. It depends on how much value you put on sex. Whether you want to lie or not, it depends on how much value. Some men, sex is like the holy grail. That's everything, So they gonna lie, do whatever to get it. But it's not priority. It's not, to me, it's not more valuable than my honesty, my reputation for being truthful and all.
And that's true, Rudy, because, in some cases, not all, but how they say the second time around, when both of y'all come to your senses, and then it's like starting over, like I said, dropping the ego. Right. And then you get back on the right track. Just like a car, when it hit a bump, you get it out of alignment, then you get it front end alignment to run smooth. The same thing, relationships.
And I think, too, as we get older and all that, we become more forgiving, When we're younger and all that, we like little monsters and all that. We hold you to everything.
Right.
Because we're naive. We feel like you're supposed to be this way, you're supposed to never look at another dude or this and that. You did, So we like hold them draconian. We're going to hold them to that, and don't forgive them or nothing. And tell other people don't fuck with them. She's a whole, this and that.
That comes with growth too, Rudy, what you're saying. And I understand that. And, man, it's a job. It's a job. It's a real job. But both people have to agree. Like I said, both people have to agree. And you want to grow together or grow apart. And
you got to know how to let it go. People don't know how to let things go, though. Why do they hold on to baggage and all that?
Because they haven't grown.
They feel important in society.
They haven't grown mentally.
Yeah, they value the baggage. This is important.
Right.
I see Jews, that had, they had Mercedes and all that. Mercedes. The Mercedes is broke. It don't work no more. It's bent all up and all that. But they don't throw it away. They keep it.
Well, it's like a lot of things you don't want to let go. Letting go of shit.
Right. Yeah.
In relationships is hard, man. People get attached. It's an attachment that you have to. You deal with somebody and, you can say, well, I love her or I love him. But you become attached to each other. You get used to different behaviors, and it just seemed to fit in a certain way. So it becomes a part of you, she become a part of you, and you become a part of her in certain ways. And that's what that's why like sometimes relationships hit a snag, people want to get out, and it might take them 2 years down the line before they completely
Tell me about it.
Walk away from the relationship.
Okay.
Because it's the attachment. It's like,
it's a comfort zone.
Right, like you used to talking to him, but now you don't talk to him. Or you find out, especially if you see him with somebody else, then it's like, oh, hell no.
You won't leave him. Before you get revenge, you leave him?
It's a comfort zone, man. My mother, she got an old pair of like slippers, right? I say, Ma, you want some new ones? No, I'm all right. they get comfortable with that old stuff.
Right.
You know?
Let me ask you this: the relationship, male-female relationship, with attachment to entitlement come with that? You think entitlement come with that? Right or wrong? You know, don't you think people feel entitled when?
Of course. But the difference,
Address.
entitlement.
Yeah. These relationships are not only male and female, but all of them. You know, I got kids and feel like you my father and all of you. You got money.
Yeah.
Well, again,
that.
it's different the way it used to be. You know, these kids out today are younger people. Even, I mean, they think they're entitled. They really do. Like you supposed to act, like, you know, you my father, you supposed to do this.
Right.
You know, I want this, I'm supposed to get that. You know, you had I saw an instance where a white girl was suing her parents because she was like, I didn't ask to be here. Y'all could have left me in the womb where I was. And she actually took this shit to court. I don't know the outcome. But she, in her mind, was, you know, you brought me here, you took me through all this. And she's suing them for,
Bring her into this life.
yeah, for bringing it into the world.
I wouldn't be surprised if she won.
what you call that?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised, and because you got lawyers and all that. They are. What can I say about lawyers? You got lawyers, and man, they not all of them, but most of them is whores. They whores. They don't have no position and all for money and all. You know, they be suing people for anything. You know. They can sue you nowadays for anything.
Yeah.
But
You hurt somebody's feelings, they can put a price on it.
whenever we bring someone into this world, no matter what we feel, it's like throwing coins in the cash register. Ching ching, that's when the money starts. So everything the government think about is about that dollar. It ain't about no feelings, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, once you drop that coin in there and ching ching, put it in the register, that's when the money trail start. You know?
Truesdale said the key word, entitlement. Especially when you've been away from them for a long time, and you come back in their life, and they think you got this and you got that.
Oh yeah.
They feel like they're entitled to whatever it is they want.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Especially once they see you start accumulating stuff.
Is that
Yeah.
immaturity or what?
That's
That's
greed,
a straight
bro.
up immaturity.
It's greed.
That's greed.
Greed.
I agree with you on that.
Because you might not have it, but just them thinking that you got it, you just got out of jail, that's kind of immature because they don't know, like, they ain't even thought this thing out, man.
They don't get like that until they start
They-
saying you're accumulating things, mainly material things.
They don't think. Think.
That's true, but I'm gonna go back to this another thing I said once. The world that we live in, people go by the images they see. That's what they live off.
Right.
Whatever they see, that's what they believe. You don't have to have a penny, but if they say, well, he was this and he was that, that's what they going off. The image that's
The
projected
image
in front
that
of them.
you, yes.
That's
Yeah,
what
they
I meant.
huh?
That's what I meant by immature. You know,
Right,
it's like young people thinking like, but you got grown people too that don't grow up and they thinking.
Rudy can have a Bentley, right? Say, ride it for the day. I'm riding down the street, nigga, look at me, boy, he getting money. It's the image that's rejected.
Yeah. Right.
And that's what we live by.
Right.
A lot of people, they don't look past that.
Right.
You don't try to understand it is, like you said one time, everything ain't what you see.
Right.
I mean, you
But
said that
no,
one time?
I believe that nothing in this world
It's the way it
is right, is what you think it is.
Right.
Everything has been put in front of you, from education to religion to relationships. It's been programmed a certain way.
So that's
So
the
the
image.
next,
Image, right, exactly. I'm agreeing with you 100%.
so the next thing to that is nobody is who they say they is.
True.
Birds bred.
Well, most of the time it's not, because in the beginning, when like in relationships, you start dating, you're gonna bring a representative to the table, and then eventually you begin to find out things as you go along.
Right.
But when you first came to you can bring your best to the table. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And
You
then
know, the
after
best
that,
neighbor, the
right,
first date.
right. So was that who you was in the beginning?
So it's a strategy that
Or you
both,
just-
both parties are making themselves up to look good. They look good, you know. because they try and sell themselves to the other person.
Yeah.
So they look. And then, you know, a lot of times, the male, the way he played the game, he would just tell her everything she needed to do to start acting. You tell her, I want this type of person, I want that type of person. You know. And she'll do the same thing too.
So what did we
So
say?
in their mind, they got a clipboard. They going down with marking off shit.
So would it be fair to say it's an illusion?
No, it's some type of court ritual. You know, it's some truth in it, but you don't know what's going to be true 6 months from now and what's going to be false. You know, it's not totally false. It's not totally true. And that might make it interesting, you know, because you got to think and figure it out. Some people get mad because they can't figure you out.
Yeah.
I can't figure you out.
Yeah, I seen that
Pay
before.
for your thoughts.
But they,
my thoughts were
but they gonna trust me. They gonna sum something up. They gonna put it where they want it to be. And this is what you are. You're this. You're
That's
that.
right. And if you're not, they gonna get mad.
Right.
They gonna get mad at you.
You this.
Get mad at you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just like, you really don't know me.
Yeah.
And you tell them that, I know you. No, you don't. Same thing with a guy. Well, I know you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But you don't. You know what I mean? Because she just put in front of you what she thought it works. So
The mirror image.
a mirror image. It's like
That's
you
why
say,
they created
that
mirrors.
thing.
What's the first thing a man or woman go, let's say they're going out, you get in the mirror and fix yourself up the way you want people to perceive you.
Right.
The mirror.
They put the mask on.
Right. I told somebody one time before, you see these young boys, them big old hoopties, and they got $5,000 rims on them. They can't see them, but from the outside, they want people to look at them for what they want them to perceive them as.
Yeah.
That's the mirror image. You know what I'm saying? The rims cost more than the whole car. And he probably lived in his grandmother's basement. But he wants them to perceive him in that mirror image.
And then but if you overall look at it, you say to yourself, what's the purpose for that shit? Just acceptance.
Acceptance, that's
I want
right.
to be accepted.
That's right, that's
right.
right, that's right.
I want to be accepted by my peers.
Yeah.
And for men, most of the stuff we do is for women.
Everything.
We know that the penitentiary is full of dudes
Everything.
trying to impress a woman or trying to get a woman.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so
What we was doing, getting money, committing certain crimes.
Everything.
and- you know what I mean?
Everything.
So that we,
God created a woman for man. When they reverse that, the women think that God created men for them.
Yeah, help me.
Yeah, who came first though?
we know that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, they
it
think
was
we was
accepted
created
in it.
for them. I guess we was created for each other. You know?
Yeah.
They was the afterthought.
Yeah.
They was the afterthought. He thought about them after he created.
Right.
Said, "Oh Lord, damn, the hell he gonna do without? He ain't got nothing to do. Let me create a woman." You know?
How about this idea of, and I get it. Like a man being a man, you're gonna take care of your family, you handle your responsibility, you're gonna pay some bills, whatever. But going into it in a relationship, if you know that this woman, she knows she make good money. Why the conversation doesn't come up of helping each other, balancing shit out? Why is it they looking for us to do everything? Now, mind me, real man, you ain't gotta ask him. He gonna do what he do. But let's say your girl make 80, 100 G's. She still wants you to pay all the bills and bring the food in the house and do everything. And her money is just sitting there.
Because they've been socially engineered. They've been socially engineered.
Right.
They've been told that's how it's supposed to be.
That's how-
Right.
You know. And
They didn't do it on their own.
if a man can't pay your bills, man can't give you money, go shopping, and do this, that, and all the things.
So they
then
got
he
that-
ain't a man.
They got that from somewhere, right?
Yeah, he's not even a man.
The
Yeah,
powers
they
that
get
be.
it. Yeah,
Powers
I
that
heard
be.
it before. I heard it before. So their mothers put this stuff in their head at an early age.
Right. And then their mothers got it from somewhere too, right? So
Yeah.
the powers that be.
Yeah.
They trained them.
Yeah.
So they took their training and put us on the battlefield against them.
Yeah, they got us fighting each other.
Right.
Male, female.
Yeah,
All our
absolutely.
energy is going to, it's a Cold War, you know.
And a lot of times it don't work because it's not natural to be that way. But they created that to keep us confused why they making all the money, pulling in all the billions and trillions, and we still fighting each other.
And right, and keeping us at home.
Right.
So how we gonna get out of this?
And
How we gonna get out?
that's what I said. How do you fix this? Can it be fixed? At what point can you fix it? Which it's getting to be so far out of hand now that can you actually fix it?
Only way I think we can tap into it is, like we talking in a little small venue, we need a big old arena where we need to constantly drill, just like they drilled in our ears, we got drilling in these young folks' ears and keep them engaged in that stuff and do stuff. I always said, when I used to go to the streets and try to talk to little gang members, you can't tell them, man, don't do that if you ain't got them put in place of that.
Right.
Because they ain't listen to you, then when you gone, they right back to
Yeah,
hustle.
because they want to know, well, what's the alternative then?
Right. You going home and eating, we gotta go home empty-handed.
Right.
You ain't giving us nothing in place of that. So
Why
the
we
same
ain't been
thing,
able to do that?
right, so the same thing with the mindset with the man and woman. If you're gonna tell them to be this way and this way, you gotta put something in place that will get their attention and say, damn, this working.
Let's get into a little sociology here.
Okay.
All right. We know that molded shape people and all that. The main molded shape of people is institutions. We ain't being molded shaped by other people's institutions because we don't really have no institutions. So that really molded shape people from the we got to have our own institutions.
I agree.
Every time we even move towards it, forming an institution, we have people over top or shit that interfere with that process. However they got to do it and all, they interfere. But to really mold, we need our own institutions.
Man, you talking
I agree
about
with you 100%, Rudy, but before we can have an institution, we gotta get their mind into an institutional understanding of what you're saying. If their mind not there, they can say, yeah.
No, I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the leaders and all. The leaders, the pioneers and all, they got to do that. You ain't going to get their mind without institutions. A
Right.
school system,
Right. I agree with you.
the media, banking systems and stuff like that. Right now, they watching their systems.
Right.
They go to their schools and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
We got institutions that mold and shape people, and we don't have them. Without them,
Right.
if we're going to get it, we're going to have to get our own, understand that.
That's true.
And we're going to have to get our own institutions. Because institutions is like a template of what form of old people. They got their churches and all that. We got churches too, but our churches is an imitation.
Controlled by them.
Imitation of their churches.
Yeah.
We're
Controlled by
teaching
the
the
government.
same thing.
Yeah.
You might go in there and you got a cross with a white Jesus on it.
Right. But they're controlled by the
What they're
government.
doing is subliminal, sending pictures to our children, Then you go to school and then you got the presidents. I pledge allegiance to the flag and all. Who flag is that, man? Come on. So it's a lot of things that we're not in control of. We don't have control of. That's why they got our minds and all this. The entertainment we consume on TV.
So do you think that it'll ever
The Jews run that.
turn around?
Will it ever turn around? Yeah, I think it'll turn around.
It took us how many
It's a
years?
long process.
It took us how many years to get here?
Yeah, it's a long process. Everything got cycles.
okay.
The
So-
nature, you got 1,000-year cycles, 10,000 million-year cycles and all.
Yeah.
Everything going to cycle now. Look at the Mayan society, or civilization, and nations and all that. They might have a lifespan of 500,000 years, 5,000 years and all that, but they cycle come to an end. But they burn up the energy, pure energy, They Rome,
Right.
a lot of them, they come to an end. So right now, if you're aware and all that, theirs come to the birth rate, they can't have babies no more and all that, because of the pressure on them to run the world,
Right.
the stress and all that, and then the lifestyle of corruption and all. They got all the money, they can do anything, So they become corrupt. The barbarians overrun them like they did in Rome. Christianity didn't destroy Rome. The barbarians did.
Right.
And then the Christians took over after the barbarians, because the barbarians didn't have no knowledge what to do with it. They came in and they just raided and burned it down.
Right.
Destroyed, the structure, political structure.
Yeah.
And the Christians had a coherent ideology, right, at that time, and they was attracted, and they took it over. They became the administration,
Right.
So yeah, they, I think it'll turn. Everything going to cycle. It's gonna be a long time. We might not be.
I'm saying I don't see it.
Won't be this
I'm
lifetime.
gonna be honest. I know it ain't gonna be in my lifetime,
Yeah.
but it's just hard for me to see it happening. Period. I mean, I look at just from, and it's so obvious, man. Like right now, we're about number one in minority, right?
Right.
Given 10, 15 years from now, man, we're going to be, I predict us being somewhere in number 4 minority.
Yeah. Minus.
I think
The Mexicans, the
number two,
Spanish.
man. They already know.
No. I still say we number 1. Well, I'm just saying my opinion. We number 1. But we falling back. The Mexicans and the Spanish, man, they coming left and right. The Asians.
Number-wise,
And
they
then
already-
everybody from everywhere else. Black people gonna fall so back, man. We won't. We know that you won't be able to. The Mexicans not gonna hire you. Asians damn sure ain't gonna hire you. And everybody else that come over here from these other countries, they don't fuck. They've been taught not to fuck with black people. Period. I'm gonna keep it honest.
And you're right.
You know that,
You're
right?
You're right.
So we're gonna be on our own, and we sleep to the point where, they wake up one day and say, okay, we're gonna gather all y'all up and put y'all in concentration camps or some shit like that.
And it can't happen.
You know what I mean?
Don't think they won't do it.
Right. But it's getting to that point. Black, what? Nobody wants to deal with everybody been taught that we're only consumers. They come into our neighborhoods, they do. I'm sure we can get deeper on it. But at this point, the way they letting the immigrants in this country, man, they trying to get rid of us.
The writing on the wall.
You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't want to have to do, okay, slavery, they abolished slavery. Man, we got to deal with these niggas. But we're going to keep them where they pretty much working for us, but we're going to do it with a smile. Now, it's get to the point we don't have to. Because you got those that
got
come over
robots.
here, they want to work.
They got robots.
And they want to work, and they want to work towards something. They believe in family and all that other shit.
And they got
right?
artificial intelligence,
And they
robots,
scared.
and all that.
Right, that's a
Everything
whole
all
nother.
that.
That's
Yeah.
a whole nother thing.
Yeah, we gonna hit that
But
up,
when you
bro.
really look at it, so like when you look at labor jobs, the Mexicans dominating that shit. They gonna work. They work with pride, right? Look at our numbers. Our numbers are falling, man. Between prison, drug addiction, and all
You know
that
why
shit.
it's like that? Because they stick together. We don't.
Right.
We the only race that don't stick together.
Don't stick
We
together.
were taught to hate each other.
Right.
Love the person.
And yo, you gotta fix that. Now, like I said, it took how many years to get to that point? Man, that's some serious shit.
450.
You understand? So when do you start to the point where you can fix it?
I think
And
it's
then they say, okay, it's gonna take us 400 more years to fix this shit that's been wrong. But it's crazy. You know what I mean? And man, let me tell you something. Those with the power to be are also gonna watch those that they allow when they come in here. They ain't gonna let them get but so far.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like right now with the cartel. It used to be a thing where the cartel struggled to get money back across the border. Now, the money don't have to come across the border, they say. It stays right here. And they putting it into the American economy. Development of land, properties, they all these big construction companies and all that stuff. And what's the easiest way? Send our people over there and really just invest in the economy. Am I right?
Yeah.
I gotta cut you all off.
That's how they built Florida.
I gotta cut you
Right.
off right there. Our time is up. We gotta put this in. Say something for next time. But I thank y'all. It's been a pleasure talking to y'all. I think we covered a whole lot, man.
Come on.
We need to
come
do
on.
this some more.
Come on, put in, Wayne.
Yeah. We need to do this more often. Get these things out here, get the knowledge out there. any way we can. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Street power.
Street power.
Great power.